What's up, Fortnite people? We're watching the Solo Cash Cup GOAT Malibuca win another Solo Cash Cup. We're going to watch his second place. It's the last one. This secures him that first place overall. And we're going to see why his knowledge of the meta is so strong, his overall movement, and just understanding how to play these Solo Cash Cups. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get right to it. This is going to be the last game of the Cash Cup that he's going to go on to win. He finishes second place, but does wind up winning the Cash Cup overall. I believe this is his third or fourth Cash Cup win of the season, which is kind of incredible, especially when it comes to solos. I mean, we haven't seen any dominance like this from a player. Kanata, Unknown, Jack and Acorn, Knight, and Rogue Shark, when they were playing duo daily cups and winning everything. Rarely does that happen, but here's what he's doing. He's landing a split on this far bottom left right corner, and he's going to take all this loot. Basically has this entire area to himself. Slove's taking some of it, but he gets his Spider-Man, the web shooters, which is huge for him, and we'll see how well he uses those later on. But essentially the key to his success is just general knowledge of the meta. He's really strong within this current meta, and we can see that throughout this entire game. So not only is this drop spot good, but so here's a good example right off the bat, right? There's a player trying to come here, grab the Spider-Man. Malibuca knows this. He's going to go ahead, get himself some space to work with and potentially fight this. But both him and the other player know this is not necessarily the fight either one wants to take. Malibuca disengages, gets himself some space, and what he's really looking for is trying to get some damage, knowing that he could just bait this SMG, or the web shooter, for this player. Gets a couple of tags, and then he's like, alright, I'm out. Doesn't want a full commit. You get no points for fighting this guy. And losing, you only get a couple of points for fighting this guy and actually winning, so it's absolutely not worth taking this early game fight. So he's just full disengaging, and this player's going to do so as well. It's one of the things we see Malibuca do really well, besides just play endgame, is the disengage. Outside of this game, you know, he's pretty consistently disengaging fights in early and mid game. Just showing you guys you don't have to take every fight, and he also has a great awareness of what's at his drop spot. So we see he's hitting the metal, he's saving the shield, so that way he could use all the other kegs and the free shield that he finds around the POI, or non-named POI. But nonetheless, I'm going to skip forward. There's going to be a couple of things I point out in the mid-game and his rotates, but essentially what we're looking at is him late rotating to zone. And he's always going to have a car, and not only is he going to have a car, but he's going to be looking for shots on players from the vehicle the entire time. So again, I'm going to slow this down. Malibuca sees a player in the distance, going to go and try and attack this player, right? Going to take the truck, go over there. He knows the player's over here. And instead of full committing on this fight, he's going to take the high ground, look for potential shots. He winds up getting tagged, continues to play for height. And then he's like, actually, again, totally not worth it. This guy is actually pretty good at the game. Obviously, it's the second round of a solo cash cup. I'm out. Just going to disengage again, protect himself on the disengage. And generally, that's a really smart play because, look, they're getting third-partied already. So this allows him to get out of here and make the rotate. Especially when you're this far away from Storm, you don't want to be diving in and fighting someone on edge. So Malibuca makes the right play. And we can see why he's a 4-time Cash Cup champ. Still gets shot at as he rotates out, but not going to be a big deal. He'll wind up just grabbing a vehicle and continuing the rotate out of here. Little piece here. He's not afraid to take Storm. He's comfortable rotating in Storm. Obviously, you don't always want to be in the zone taking damage, but it's not really a reason to change what you want to do. He's going to continue looting, grabbing the things that he wants, and then we'll see he heals up right here, and we will just continue. But one thing I want to make sure you guys recognize is how he's always rotating with a car. Basically, always using a car, even when he is rotating. So he knows that this player is going to shoot at him. He switches seats really quickly, and he's going to beam this player back. That's going to stop this player from shooting at you. Just continuing to drive isn't going to do anything. And we'll see him do this a few times. Once again, it's going to happen here. He waits for it, baits that player. That player was about to shoot at the vehicle. Malibuca, quick 360, 180, turns it around on him. He does wind up losing this car here, which is unfortunate. But, you know, you gotta focus on trying to make rotates in vehicles. It's just like a little extra shield. And now he knows that he needs another car. Goes into Rocky because there's cars all over the place in there. And gonna get himself another car and continue to rotate. So once again, saving his car. Third zone's going to appear. And we're going to see Malibuca rotate fairly quickly. He's looking to get ahead so he can grab himself a position. While everyone's rotating, this is what you want to do. Get yourself in a good spot. And he doesn't go too far in, just gets himself barely in the zone. And once he sees an opportunity, he's going to jump back in the car and start to make the rotate. But he's just scanning, seeing where other players are, if they're rotating, what's going on. But the key right here is he's waiting for Surge to stop. You don't want to be rotating while Surge is going. And he sees a couple other cars moving, so going to take his chances, rotating on out of here. Does it before third zone starts moving, and we're going to see the position. So he has it marked. That's pretty much center of third, and his goal is to get as close to that as possible. He's going to get fairly close, but not perfectly. And we see he's going to build two boxes, one below, one above. Let the other one above build. Then once that's built, he's going to chill here, just take some tags on players rotating, get some surge damage. Another thing we'll notice is he does have the web shooters, and he's very acute to use these. There'll be a couple of times where he's picking things up during this game, and he winds up getting multiple launch pads, which helps him. He also gets the upgrade on this SMG, which we will see he uses emphatically during the end game. But having acute awareness to use that as a harpoon and constantly looking for stuff is one of the things that made a huge difference specifically in this game, but overall in his gameplay. Alright, fourth zone appears once again. He's just marking the zone to see where he needs to be. Knows that he doesn't need to rotate early. He can just Spider-Man or walk this right in. So what he's going to do is look to hold people, get tags on players rotating in, because 7th surge is always a problem. And once again, we see he's going to use the Spider-Man, grabbing the launch pad. There's one, not only getting that, but getting a gold SMG, more materials. So consistently doing this and always looking to try and grab this stuff. So that's one huge piece that allows him to be successful when he's getting all these materials. Now just going to use a single web slinger to get in. Builds a single box, uses no extra mats, and then once again looking to hold players. And again, using the web shooter, doesn't hurt to have that. Now, here's going to be another example. This player is going to get eliminated on the edge of zone. And immediately, Malibuca goes, okay, I'm prioritizing the launch pad. I'm prioritizing the metal. A lot of players just see that stuff and let it happen. We see him get another elim. Look how quickly he switched over to the web slingers to grab that. Now it winds up getting taken from him, but nonetheless, he's able to grab a good bit of loot. Does get awareness checked while that's happening, which is unfortunate, but nonetheless, he'll be okay. And before he starts getting fully focused, going to put down that armored wall to stop any potential damage. And then now it's time to focus on the 5th zone rotate. One thing he's really good at is understanding where players are in the boxes. We'll see this throughout the end game, like where players are positioning and using them or their necessary rotates against them. Like right here, he's just waiting for these players to use these rotates, and now he's going to go use one of the pads that he was able to grab from the web slingers, and then he's going to position himself fairly high. This is so he gets good vision, understands what's going on around him. Typically 5th zone, you want to be, I wouldn't say height, but 2nd, 3rd height maybe, And again, connecting himself because he got chopped earlier, so you don't want to let that happen. Now he's safe, secure, and chilling in fifth zone. There's not too much he needs to do, so he's just going to emote. I'll speed this through. All right, he's about done emoting. So now we're looking at the sixth zone rotate. Malibuca understands there's a player down here, so instead of just rotating, he's going to wait for this player and just try and get one more elim, try and get even more surge tags. And he's patient, right? He's not overcommitting to anything. He's not jumping at any shots. He knows this player is going to have to rotate at some point, and he's just waiting for that to happen. Going to be able to get one tag on him, and he's using his launch pad. So honestly, not only was waiting a good idea to get some tags on this player, waiting was also a good idea so he can maximize this launch pad. As always, look up before you place the pad, and then just chill up in the air, and he's pretty much going to be able to make this rotate with building, let's say, nothing until he gets in zone. And then one key thing is when he's rotating in these late zones, using both launch pads and the web shooters, he's building himself a 2x, at least always giving himself a 1x2 or 2x1, whatever you want to call it, to work with. So he has 2 boxes to play with. Now he's just looking backside to punish people, trying to get those elims. And he's just always rocking this SMG. This SMG is constantly out when Malibuca is trying to rotate in these end games. Once again, marking zone, that's a great habit to get into. You always want to mark zones so you know where you need to rotate to. That way you can visualize it. He sees, looks through the edits so he can understand where he needs to go. Gets himself to front side with the web slingers. Then going to build himself a 2x1 and look for more tags on players. Again, very good at understanding what's going on around him, using his builds to play safely, so peeking through this wall, not overcommitting, not trying to push himself too far forward, and understanding where players are. A lot of people, when they hit those white tags, they're going to act differently and try and dive on that. Malibuca knows he doesn't need it. Going to get himself right in the zone here, or at least a couple tiles away. Again, building himself a 2x1 to play with. And going to try and punish players near or around him that he can find rotating. He's pretty close here, so I'm 90% sure he's not going to wind up using the SMG, or not the SMG, the web slinger to rotate. But again, big tags on this player, knows he's weak, has that information, jump on him, easy elim, easy refresh, and then just back to the base that you have. So yeah, he is close to zone. He's just going to use his own builds to get in. Doesn't want to use the Spider-Man. Gets punished a little bit. Now he's on backside trying to get himself forward because he's typically always on the front side of zone until it catches up to him. So he's just waiting for zone to move. Gonna web sling forward, get himself on front side. And then now it's time to claim low. And this is where he really starts to pop off. Like all these kids low down here, that's an easy elim. Anyone can get that. Well done by him. Again, using the web slingers to grab those materials. Boom, SMG, another elim that's free. This player gets in the box. And Malibuca's like, all right, I'm out. I don't want to fight that. That's a straight 50-50, especially in this meta with SMGs. So he's just going to disengage and then give himself some space to play with. That's a really smart play, and I feel like a lot of players panic too much. But Malibuca made the right play to get out of there and continue to rotate. Then we're putting more pressure on players around us. This SMG is a torment in end games. But again, he doesn't overcommit to this. We see he gets some shots on players, and a lot of people continue spraying on that. But instead, Malibuca is going to focus on going front side, getting a position in zone, and building his way in. Really smart plays to not engage in fights. Engaging is not always the right play, and we can see that from Malibuca. Once again, looking backside with this SMG. This player cuts him off. He's trying to get ahead. Malibuca reclaims the space and just continues rotating. This player drops in his face. You can't really ask for anything better than that. players SMGing in your box. When they're doing this, what you want to let them do is use all their ammo, because once you're out of an SMG ammo, this is forcing a player to play differently. So Malibuca does this. Now this player is fully trapped in the builds. Malibuca is just chilling, letting it happen. Let that fight occur. You clean that up. Boom. Easy elims. And now it's up to him to try and win the game. And to be honest, he could have easily won this game. He misses a couple of shots on this player that should have been his, right? This is a shotgun shot I would expect him to make. Misses that one. Cones, both coned. Now he's weak. He's on the back foot. This is unfortunate here. But this is where the fight really turned around. And, bro, I mean, second place, 6 elims. This is also a place where he could have gotten some damage done. He's just trying to heal. And that player's just going to win this trade. But overall, really sick game from Malibuca. We've seen him just dominate solo cashies. And he dominates, I guess, the second to last one of the season. So, well done. Props to him. He is an absolute solo demon and been playing well in team modes. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead, watch one of these videos that pop up next. Thank you. See you guys next time. Peace.